In the Gluware 3.4 release, we've added the ability to create config model feature packages. It's a three-step process, including the creation of the feature model types themselves, filling in all the details specific to your network, including your CLI and any other tuning, and then previewing and ultimately deploying those features on your nodes. Let's start by looking at the creation process. But first, as a quick reminder, remember a network feature model just captures any of the functions and capabilities of a CLI feature on a network device. It does so by capturing the structure first, then the syntax specific for that device and this configuration, and uses show commands as a means of filtering that portion of the configuration on the device. Now, a feature bucket just captures a set of feature models for any given device or set of devices, and node instances are also simply used to provision or deploy those network feature models on network devices. The creation of feature models requires that you've already set up an organization with the nodes, as well as the config modeling kits that you are going to use on those nodes and create the feature models around. We'll next briefly walk through what that means by walking through the current organization. Once we're done walking through the current state of the model editor, we'll go through the development and the deployment workflows. We've already created some node instances on top of the node types that were installed with the config modeling kits. The feature buckets or assembly types were also installed, but we haven't created assemblies yet in this step. This is where the feature model types would go, and as you can see, there are none at this time, which is the focus of this exercise. Finally, the config modeling kits installed a large number of concept items or show commands to filter the feature concepts once developed. Now we'll run the feature model development workflow. First, we're going to create a project, then give it a name and description, and start creating the first feature in that feature set. We're going to go through most of the options for each feature model in this first example, and then rush through the last three, which are very similar. We'll intentionally leave off this feature name so that we can see the ease in modification once the feature set is completed. For each feature model in the feature set, you have the option to customize a display name and description that will be reflected in your control system. The phase will dictate when, in the provisioning cycle for the whole feature set, this particular feature will be provisioned. We now specify which of the installed feature bucket or assembly types you'll be able to select this feature from. At this point, we could also specify any other feature models or domain models that this particular feature model has a dependency on. At this point, we could publish the feature set or continue developing the next feature model, which is what we will do at an accelerated rate at this point now that we've described the process. Now, as we review the feature model set or package, we notice that we have not included the name of the first feature as intended, and we will show how we can easily go back in, add a name to the feature, and then publish the package. Here, much like the feature models, the package description and name within the Control Solutions Management utility can be specified here. Now that we've published the feature model or feature set, we need to populate it with the specific details for the nodes that we'll be working with. As you can see, our 4 new features are available now in the organization, and we're going to create feature instances for each and populate them with the specific CLI structure, CLI syntax, and show commands as described earlier. I'm just illustrating here a walkthrough of those different ingredients. As we did with the development of subsequent features, I'm also going to accelerate the specification of the feature instances at this point, as they are the same. First, we have NTP with an optional form fill example, though we've not included the screen here. Next, we have a large QoS feature model, including 3 CLI command groups or structures for class maps, policy maps, and ACLs. And finally, we our SNMP feature, which also includes an optional form fill. Now that we've populated our feature models, we're going to do the same for a sample assembly to deploy it on a set of nodes. We'll add each of the features to the assembly. And please remember, I'm referring to feature instances made from that feature type that we created. The instances are specific snapshots where the type can be reused across your network once it's been created the first time. Now that we've specified the specific instances for the feature set that we've created, we're going to save them all and then run the deployment wizard to publish them into any organization or any system of Gluware to be used by network operators moving forward to deploy your network devices. In the deployment wizard, we're going to select from the created instances in the current organization which ones we want to include, publish, and potentially export for use by network operators and other orgs and other Gluware systems. The package that is published and created in this case is different than the previous one in that the previous one was for developing features, whereas this particular one is for deploying network devices. You can see that an export package was automatically created so we could download it and install it in another system. Now that we have successfully created this package, we can use solutions management on this or any other system in org to populate and then deploy the nodes with these features. Since it is also nothing new, we're going to roll through and accelerate the assignment of assemblies for these sets of nodes, then illustrate the preview process and provisioning. As always, the connected preview option provides you an efficient means of validating your features before deploying them. Wrapping this all up, we've created a set of feature models that we then created and populated a set of instances specific to this current organization and deployed it in this organization, as well as created the option to export it to any other organization and system. Thank you for watching.